Hey guys, what's going on? It's Alex here for TechFlow, and I'm really excited because a couple of days ago we had WWDC for 2022.
It's called Matter.
iOS 16. Let's talk about watchOS.
Good morning and welcome to WWDC.
Loads of new stuff was released. It was super exciting, but what I'm really intrigued to show you guys is iOS 16, the new operating system for all of the iPhones out there. And as you can see, I've got the beta on my phone. Let's get straight into this. So as you can see here, we have a brand new font on both the date and the time, and a new wallpaper here with no notifications. Notifications now come up from the bottom of the screen, as you can see. So this makes one-handed use for people with small hands like myself, makes that much easier than having to swipe down from the top. Now this is where I think they've merged some things from watchOS into iOS. If you tap and hold on the screen, you get to swap between a few, well, let's call them different home screens. On the watch, it's different watch faces. You can literally have different home screens here, and then furthermore, you can tie focus modes to that certain home screen. So let's just say when I'm on this home screen, for example, we could have that being my fitness home screen. So therefore I'm in fitness mode whenever I activate this home screen. Now let's go into here for a second, because you can see I've already played around with this one. If we tap and hold again and then we click on customize, we can go in and change all of the elements on this screen. And again, it really is like watchOS in the way that this is working. This is like really futuristic. It almost feels like my phone is jailbroken. You can go in and granularly change things like the actual temperature of the color. Furthermore, you can actually now add certain widgets onto the home screen, which is a first for Apple here in 2022. I think Android have had this since about 2010. So as you can see here, one big thing for me is the home widget. It tells me the temperature in my house, the current lights that I've got on or off, and whether my alarm system is armed or disarmed. Now you can actually go down here and enable things like perspective zoom or depth effects. Now you're probably thinking, what are depth effects and why are they blurred out? Not sure why they're blurred out, but if I actually remove all of these widgets, you'll see we get the option back. I'm not sure if it is a bug there on Apple's part, but as you can see, here's our depth effects now in action. The time is now hidden behind the wallpaper, as you can see up here. Those are our depth effects, but as soon as I go off them, it sort of gets rid of it. I think it's still a little bit buggy, but at least if we go into the customize, we get a sneak preview of what's to come. If you move your finger slowly there, you can see that it actually makes the animation really slow and covers up the two. So if we move on to our home screen, the only visible change you can see is that we actually have a search button here. Now Spotlight is still accessible like it always has been by pulling down from top of the screen like that, but you can also now just tap on this little search thing and then go ahead and start your search that way. One thing to note is when you're swiping through your home pages, so like this, that search icon will change to the old familiar little dots so you can actually see where you are. And as soon as you land, it changes back to search. So if you click on here, it gives you some really cool options. You can actually choose a blur, so you can have the background blurred out to bring more focus onto the apps in the foreground. You can go ahead and just configure certain wallpapers. So you can actually have, let's just say, a gradient of color here, and then you can actually go into some serious customization here. You can go to spectrum of colors and you can make your own wallpapers, which is really cool. Okay, so let's jump into some features that I think have been long overdue for iMessage, one of my favorite messaging tools. Let's jump into messages here and do a quick message to Jed. I'm gonna put test and just send that as I normally would. Now let's just say in an alternative universe, I didn't actually want to send that message. Well, in this new iMessage, you can actually undo send. So if you click and hold, then you can click on undo send. Now it is really important to note that this will only work with two devices that are running iOS 16. If you're on 15 and prior, the message will still be there and it won't have been removed. And it even gives you a little message to tell you that that's the case. Now we do have a new animation here for text to speech, so let's give that a go. Hello, I'm talking to my phone, this is the future. Let's just say I've sent that and it's got something wrong and I want to edit that message. Well, now we can also do that by, again, tapping and holding, clicking on edit here, and then you can go in and literally add this. Maybe this is the future. And then we can go ahead and send it. Now, it does say next to the delivered icon that the message has been edited. We now have an option to have haptic feedback on every single button click. What does that mean? Well, basically every time I tap the keyboard, we obviously get the little tick noise, but every time it makes the tick noise, the entire phone is giving me a little haptic feedback, which is something that I really, really like. Now, you may have noticed if you send a lot of voice notes in your iMessage that the voice note button looks a bit different, and that's because it isn't the voice note button anymore. If you actually just want to send a voice note, you have to click this blue icon here. As you can see, this is now recording my voice as I hold down on this button. I think this is a much nicer experience. Often before with iOS, I'd be recording a message, my finger would slip off the screen, and then it would either send that message that I haven't finished or just completely wipe it altogether. The big button is a win. So there's some really cool new updates to the Photos app and the entire camera system. A lot of people don't actually know about these, and this is one of my favorites. If I open up my camera app here and click on this photo of Atlas, the phone, just by me holding on Atlas by himself, it will cut him out, and then I can use him as a sticker. So I should be able to copy him like that.
How cool is that?
You can also paste it on Instagram stories. Shout out to Jed for that one. That's awesome. That is just awesome.
Somehow Apple have managed to make Instagram better.
Yeah, I mean, it needed it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Needs a boost.
Now, another feature in the Photos app is to do with video. So as you can see here, I've got a video playing here that I have taken. Now, if I go ahead and pause this video on a frame where I may want to copy some text, we can then zoom into that, and just like we could in previous photos, copy this live text right from a video that's currently playing, which is absolutely next level. Now, the other new thing that I'm absolutely buzzing about is the new redesigned Home app. Now, I realize that this is a bit of a niche thing, but I like that Apple are taking this seriously, and it's one of the things that made me really excited at the keynote when I was watching. So as you can see, this is the new Home app. They made a big deal, as well as saying they redesigned this to make it more intuitive and easier to use. They made a big deal about responsiveness. So if I click on here and go straight down to Kitchen right now, I should be able to see how responsive this is by clicking on the neon signs. Should have turned it off. Yeah, it's absolutely rapid. The only delay there is the neon taking time to warm up when I turn it back on. In fact, I can actually show you the old Home app on here. So this is what the old Home app looked like. As you can see, you've got these big sort of square bulky things. It just looks so 2010. And then you bring in the new iOS 16 and the whole thing just looks so much more modern. So there you guys have it. Those were a few of the things that I found with my day so far of playing with the new iOS 16 beta. If there's anything I've missed off, guys, let me know in the comments down below, because as the more I play with it, the more new things I'm finding. So let us know if you want us to do a video in a couple of weeks' time with maybe some new updates with some new features. I'm sure Apple will be adding stuff as time goes on and new betas released. This is literally the first beta, and it works actually surprisingly well if you did want to install it on your device. But anyway, guys, my name's been Alex, this has been TechFlow, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.